What's up, everybody? This video is about Calvin Ridley. Today on the Atlanta Falcons website, he said, quote, "I should be elite this year." What do you guys think about Calvin Ridley saying that he should be elite? I'm going to get into what I think about it. Comment below what you think. We're going to get right into this one. Calvin Ridley is on the Falcons. They just added Todd Gurley and Hayden Hurst to their offense, which a lot of people have showed the graphic where they have a ton of first-round picks coming into their offense, or former first-round picks, going into their offense. So that could be something special again, like back in that year where they made the Super Bowl, took a 25-point lead in the first half, blew out the Patriots in the first half. That was crazy. Yeah, something happened, though, about that. 28-3. Let's go. So Calvin Ridley's a 6-foot, half-an-inch receiver. Ran a 4.43 at the Combine and weighed in at 189 at the Combine. His stats are actually pretty good. He's had about the same targets, 92 targets in his first year and 93 targets in his second year, with 64 and 63 receptions in those 2 years. So you can tell his receptions and targets have been the same, or about the same. In his first year, though, he had 10 touchdowns. In his second year, he had 7 touchdowns. So unlike Julio Jones, he can get a ton of touchdowns. Julio has struggled with that for a few years now, and that's why he hasn't been regarded as the elite fantasy asset, although everyone knows how good he is in real life. The big difference between this year and last year is the yards per game for Calvin Ridley. In his rookie year, he was only averaging 51.3 yards per game. Last season, he bumped it all the way up to 66.6. So once you're getting over 65 yards a game, your team knows, like, you're producing very much for your team. We just need to see him have it. If you bump that up, say he bumps up another 15, which is kind of unreasonable, all the way, that's over 80 yards a game, which is at a really, really high level of play for any receiver, let alone a young one. And as Julio ages, Calvin Ridley enters his prime, and this is probably the year where the window is closing for the Atlanta Falcons, and they're going to go for it all this year. You can tell by the way they signed Todd Gurley. They're going for the championship this year, hoping to not blow it like they did back when they faced the Patriots. For them to be a Super Bowl caliber team, their offense is going to have to be incredible, as their defense was ranked 22nd last year. So you know they're going to have to count on the offense to score those points to keep up with the lack of defense they have on their team. And if Calvin Ridley is elite like he says he should be, then that will help out the offense a lot in getting the production, because if you can't double both Julio and Calvin Ridley on defense. So we're going to have to see both of them making plays for the offense. And I think Calvin Ridley has the potential to do it. Maybe not this year, but being a first-round pick as a wide receiver shows that he can be an elite wide receiver at the next level, or else the Falcons wouldn't have taken him there. One thing I'm worried about, and this might be a little conspiracy theory, but Calvin Ridley might be taking a shot at the coaching staff or the Falcons organization when he says that he should be elite this year. I think this might just mean I should be elite, but the coaching staff won't let me be elite. He has an 81% snap share of the offense in Atlanta, which is 44th in the league, and his target share is 55th in the league. Although having the 34th most targets, 55th is more accurate in saying that because the team passes it the most in the league with 46 times per game. If he's saying I should be elite but the coaching staff won't help me out here, that worries me, because when there's discourse between a not elite replaceable player in the NFL and the organization, which maybe they want to replace their coach Dan Quinn, but if they don't, he's going to be a problem, and they're going to have to get rid of him if he's being a problem in the locker room. You saw it with Antonio Brown. He's one of the best receivers in the game, and he couldn't stay on the Steelers, and then he couldn't stay on the Raiders, and then the off-the-field stuff finally caught up to him with that case he caught and all that stuff. So you can't have that happening, especially with wide receivers. It seems to be a trend with them recently that they're going to have off-the-field and in the locker room problems with the team. NFL teams are not dealing with that unless you're elite, which Calvin Ridley hasn't shown that he is elite yet. So he could get his ass shipped out of Atlanta from the Falcons, and I do not think he'll be elite this year. as a second wide receiver, clearly on a team. It's hard to be considered elite. Neither Stephon Diggs or Adam Thielen was given the spotlight last year, and you saw how that crumbled a little bit. So if that might end up being the case here in Atlanta, as like we've said before, they have 10 first-round picks coming through the door. A lot of those guys have been fed the ball their whole lives or treated special their whole lives. Now, 10 out of 11 guys on offense are going to be first-round picks, NFL first-round picks, and you think they're going to mesh well as a lot of new pieces come through the door. I hope they can, because the Falcons were exciting to watch when they were blowing out the Patriots in the Super Bowl, but I just don't know if that will work right for them. Let's see. I mean, he does have the good stats of 17 touchdowns in 2 years, almost 1,700 yards in 2 years, so we could break out this year like Chris Godwin did last season, but it's going to be difficult for him being the number 2 wide receiver clearly on a team. Last year there were debates whether it was Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. I still think Mike Evans is the better receiver there, although a lot of people have Chris Godwin ranked above Mike Evans on their lists, on their fantasy lists. So I don't personally think he could be an elite wide receiver this year. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of him saying this, whether you think he will be elite, whether you want to draft him in fantasy football this year or not. And if you like the video, join the Discord, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. We also have Twitter and Instagram, which is Dime Dropping NFL on both of those. We're trying to post more stuff on there too, just to get more people involved. So thanks for watching. See you next video.